Rebecca just said Jamie Givens will be buried in Oklahoma. The motorcade is on its way there now, and this was the view from HD Chopper 8. As
he makes his final journey, it's not just officers who are paying tribute, so are members of the public. Here's Sebastian Robertson.
A two-story tall American flag marks where fallen officer Earl James Givens will start his final trip home.
He's going to be missed by a lot of people, and he was loved by a lot of people. He was a great guy.
John Martinez, a former Dallas police officer, is one of the many motorcycle riders that will accompany Givens' body from Prestonwood Baptist Church in Plano to his hometown in Oklahoma.
He was a great guy, a lot of integrity. He was one of those guys that do anything for you.
Givens, a 32-year veteran of the force, was killed Saturday morning while directing traffic for another officer's funeral.
I couldn't believe it. It was just hard to believe that he'd be hit by a drunk driver at 5:30 in the morning. It just really saddens you.
Hundreds of motorcycles representing dozens of departments from across the state and country showed up to give their support outside the memorial service. And among the crowd, community members, some with no ties to law enforcement, paid their respect.
It gave me goosebumps. It really did. So did they. It was to see the camaraderie. I think it's awesome.
Ginger Fox of Little Elm brought her two boys.
All the police officers are here to support the families. That's very impressive to us. Of course, the firemen, I mean, it just gives me goosebumps as to how much support is here.
By the end of the service, all you could hear was the roar of motorcycle engines, a sound that will guide this fallen officer home.
We have a bond that can't be broken, so it's out of respect.
That procession for the officer's hometown left at about 3:15 this afternoon. A ride to Washington, Oklahoma, that's expected to take a little less than 5 hours. In Plano, Sebastian Robertson, Channel 8 News.